Thank you for watching this informational video on the Recovery Requires a Community program, an initiative of the Community Integration Team in the Bureau of Recovery Supports at the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. This video will provide an overview of the program, eligibility criteria, and the application and award process. The mission of the Recovery Requires a Community program is to support safe and sustainable transitions from a nursing facility to integrated community living for eligible individuals. This is accomplished by providing individualized financial assistance. People using the program can transition from a nursing home to a variety of settings, including but not limited to Class II residential facilities, assisted living communities, or independent living. The eligibility criteria are the following. Individuals must be currently receiving treatment in a nursing home with plans to transition to the community or have recently transitioned from a nursing facility within the last 90 days into the community and find themselves at risk of readmission. They must be enrolled in Medicaid. They must have a behavioral health diagnosis, which includes mental illness or substance use disorders. They must have sufficient income or the means to sustain community living at the time of transition and have needs that can be safely met through the recovery program or a combination of community resources. The recovery program does not have a length of stay requirement. The program allows for funds to be requested in a variety of categories to ensure individuals have all items and services for a successful transition. I'll list the most common categories in which assistance is provided and give a few examples. Housing assistance. The program can cover arrears that an individual may have that are preventing them from returning to established housing or securing new housing. Security deposits and short-term rental assistance. Utilities. Similar to housing, utility assistance often covers arrears owed that are preventing services from being turned on in someone's name, deposits to start services, and short-term assistance. Goods and services. This is an extremely broad category and does cover things like furniture, household items, and groceries. However, on the next slide, I'll take a deeper dive into what all can be covered within this category that we encourage folks to think about when transitioning. Supplemental services. This provides the financial resource to cover home health care if upon discharge, Medicaid coverage for state plan or waiver service is not yet in place. Home modifications. For certain living arrangements in the community, the program may be able to provide the financial resources to make accommodations in one's home when Medicaid services cannot, including wheelchair ramps, stair lifts, bathroom modifications for accessibility, and also small-scale modifications like door widening and grab bar installation. Transportation. Funding can be requested for various modes of transportation, such as ambulette, cab fare, bus passes, and for various types of trips that one might be required to take to prepare for discharge and post-discharge, including going to the BMV, Social Security office, Job and Family Services, or housing appointments. We do have an other category for any other need that doesn't necessarily fit into one of the 6 categories mentioned. Individuals have the option to apply for a standard award of $3,000 for goods and services. The funds can be used through the duration of the transition process to purchase items in the goods and services category as needs arise. Please note this is an option. Individualized awards and awards for other categories are still offered. Listed on this slide are the areas of assistance where the enhanced goods and services funding can be used beyond the basic needs of furniture, household items, and groceries. We encourage applicants to consider the many facets of an individual's transition, to not only think about the discharge itself and what it takes to make that happen and basic needs, but also what one might need to acclimate and feel like a part of their new environment and community, to be safe and sustainable in regards to their mental and physical well-being, and to continue their recovery in the community. I'll list a few items below that I like to ask people to consider upon discharge. Assistive and adaptive technology needs, connection to peer recovery support, durable medical equipment that's not necessarily covered by insurance, volunteering and employment needs if an individual wishes to do so, community integration and social and faith and recreational needs, What does one need to access in their community to feel a part of it? And long-term needs. Again, this is just a list of basic things beyond those tangible items that one might need to not only safely discharge, but to continue their recovery in the community with support for their physical and mental health. A little bit about the process. Once an individual during their discharge planning identifies a need or a barrier to the transition and has been determined eligible for the recovery program, they can submit an application. Anyone working with the individual can assist with this part of the process and then submit the completed application packet to our department for review. Once received, it is reviewed by us to confirm eligibility and appropriateness of their request. After review, if able to be approved, an award letter is sent out to the individual and provider assisting. This serves as the green light to start making the purchases or expending funds to obtain the items requested. This is a reimbursement-based process, so the community entity working with the individual will spend funds and then seek reimbursement through our financial management service. A few important things to note in regard to the Recovery Requires a Community program. When completing an application, please be mindful that items or services that are being requested are directly linked to the individual's sustainability and recovery in the community. While there is a general set of eligibility criteria, this is an individualized program, and funding and approvals are determined on a case-by-case basis. And as another reminder, an individual must be working with a reimbursable entity. For example, a home choice transition coordinator, a community health provider, or a residential class 2 facility operator. For more information and to access program forms, please visit mha.ohio.gov/RRAC. For questions, please call 614-644-0617 or email recovery@mha.ohio.gov.